Joining me now, Congressman James Clyburn of South Carolina, a national co-chair for the Biden-Harris campaign. Congressman Clyburn, as always, thank you for coming to the Sunday show. So let me get a word from you. Do you agree with Minority Leader Jeffries that President Biden's comeback, that this is President Biden's comeback moment?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much for having me. The fact of the matter is, I've made it very clear ever since the morning after, that is Friday morning, that I think people ought to just chill out. This is something that denotes what can happen anytime a sitting president takes it upon himself to debate. It has happened historically. I saw it happen to Ronald Reagan. It happened to Barack Obama. And now it's happened to Joe Biden. When you've been running the country, as he has been for 3.5 years, faced with all of the issues that he is faced with, you don't have time to set aside and make up stories about the past or to forget about what's going on around you. You've got to face your job, and he's been doing that. And so for him to go into preparation, and what I've been calling this a classic example of preparation overload, I just think that there should have been much less preparation for this debate and much more activism in his job.
You know, Congressman, I actually agree with you. You could see the president trying to remember the dollars and the figures and the everything. And there were moments when just the President Biden from the heart, as one person called him, Irish Biden, would come out and say, more of that, please. Congressman Clyburn, have you spoken to the president since the debate?
No, I have not. We knew before the debate that he was going to do that debate and was going to go to New Jersey and on over to or down from there to Delaware with his family. And I never had planned to talk to him until after I finished here in Wisconsin on tomorrow. I'm doing my 5th event of the day here in Wisconsin, and I'll be here all day tomorrow, and then I will talk to the president afterwards.
Congressman Clyburn, since you are there in Wisconsin and doing lots of events, tell me the truth. What are you hearing from people on the ground?
Almost total, and I'm saying almost because I have not heard a single person express anything negative. All they're saying to us is keep Joe Biden moving forward. And from what I've heard, around $33 million in small donations, most of it, two-thirds of it coming in small donation, coming into the party. When I left Washington on Friday night, I went directly to Tampa, Florida. I was in a meeting with 8,400 African-American men, to a person, every one of them. When I mentioned Joe Biden, they were standing on their feet. They had nothing to say but positive things about this campaign. So when I hear all this talk about he should drop out, I don't see that anywhere out here. No place. Here in Madison, I'm not in Benoit. I'm going on to Milwaukee. Nothing says that Joe Biden.
Congressman, one more question for you, since you mentioned that event you did with all those black men. Donald Trump said at the debate that migrants were taking so-called black jobs. Congressman Clyburn, what is a black job?
That's what I've been trying to figure out. And all those men I talked to down there in Tampa, Florida, was asking me, is your job a black job? He said, I'm sitting in court. I'm a federal judge now on senior status. Is my job a black job? What is Donald Trump talking about? I said, well, he has always categorized black people as being different from white people and therefore relegate us to a special type of job, and that's what he's talking about. There ain't no black jobs or white jobs. These are jobs in the American economy, and all of us ought to be pursuing the opportunity to fill these jobs, except in Donald Trump's world.
Yeah, as Aunt Gloria said yesterday, when Donald Trump says black jobs, she immediately thinks that he looks down on us and thinks that we are inferior. But we know better. Congressman James Clyburn of the great state of South Carolina, thank you, as always, for coming to the Sunday Show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.